Before we begin, I want you to do something simple. Put your phone down for just a moment. Take one slow, deep breath. Feel the air filling your lungs, then slowly breathe out. Again, slowly. There is nowhere else you need to be. Nothing you need to solve, nothing you need to prove. For the next few moments, just be here. Welcome back to English with Peace. Have you ever noticed that your mind becomes the loudest when the world becomes quiet? Late at night, the lights are off. Everything around you is silent. But inside your head, the conversation has just begun. You replay a conversation from years ago. You imagine tomorrow's problems. You think about what you should have said, what you shouldn't have said, what could happen, what might never happen. Your body is lying in bed, but your mind is running a marathon. Perhaps you've asked yourself, why can't I stop thinking? Why does my brain never seem to rest? Why do I keep imagining the worst? If so, you're not alone. Millions of people quietly struggle with the same invisible habit. Overthinking. It's exhausting. Not because thinking is bad. Thinking is one of humanity's greatest gifts. It allows us to create, to dream, to learn, to solve problems. But there comes a point where thinking stops helping and starts hurting. Imagine holding a magnifying glass under the sun. Used correctly, it helps you see details, but hold it in one place for too long, and it begins to burn. Your thoughts are no different. When your attention remains trapped on the same worry, hour after hour, day after day, your mind slowly burns itself out. Not because life is too difficult, but because your brain was never designed to carry every possible future at once. There is an old saying that I love. The mind is a wonderful servant, but a terrible master. Think about that for a moment. A servant helps you. A master controls you. Which one has your mind become? For many of us, without even realizing it, we've handed over the keys. We wake up, and our thoughts decide how we feel. A memory appears, our mood changes, a worry arrives, our peace disappears. A single imagined future steals today's happiness. But what if you are not your thoughts? What if the voice inside your head is simply a storyteller, not always a truth teller? Today, we're going to explore one of the greatest misunderstandings about the human mind. We're going to discover why overthinking happens, why your brain refuses to let certain thoughts go, and most importantly, how to find peace without forcing your mind to become silent. Because peace isn't the absence of thought. It's learning that not every thought deserves your attention. Take another deep breath, and let's begin our journey. There's something I want you to imagine. Picture a quiet room. No television, no phone, no music, just silence. Now ask yourself, how long could you sit in that room without reaching for a distraction? 5 minutes? 10? Or would your mind immediately begin searching for something to think about? For many people, silence isn't peaceful. It's uncomfortable. Because the moment the outside world becomes quiet, the inside world becomes louder. Thought after thought, memory after memory, question after question. Sometimes it feels as though your mind is talking to itself without ever taking a breath. But have you ever wondered why? Why does your brain refuse to slow down? The answer isn't because something is wrong with you. In fact, your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. Long before modern life, long before deadlines, emails, social media, or endless notifications, The human brain had one primary mission: keep you alive. It constantly searched for danger. It predicted possible threats. It imagined what could go wrong. That ability helped our ancestors survive. If they heard a sound in the forest, their minds immediately asked, could this be dangerous? If they ignored every possibility, they might not survive. So, evolution rewarded a brain that kept thinking, a brain that stayed alert, a brain that prepared for the worst. Thousands of years later, that same brain still lives inside you. The problem is, the dangers have changed. Today, the lion is gone, but your brain still looks for something to fear. Instead of worrying about predators, it worries about your future, your career, your relationships, your health, your finances, your reputation. It searches for problems, even when none exist. Imagine having a smoke alarm that works perfectly. It warns you whenever there's a fire. That's useful. Now imagine the same smoke alarm going off every time you make toast, every time someone lights a candle, every time steam rises from the shower. The alarm isn't broken. It's simply too sensitive. Overthinking is often like that. Your brain is trying to protect you, but it's reacting to possibilities as though they were certainties. A simple message that hasn't been answered yet becomes, maybe they're upset with me. One small mistake at work becomes, what if I lose my job? A headache becomes, what if something is seriously wrong? Notice what your mind does. It doesn't stop with the facts. It writes stories. And the strange thing is, we usually believe them. There is a quiet voice inside all of us. It narrates our lives. It explains everything that happens. Sometimes, that voice is wise. Sometimes, it is wildly inaccurate. But because it sounds like us, we assume it must be telling the truth. Here's something worth remembering. A thought is not a fact. A thought is simply a mental event. It appears, it stays for a moment, then it disappears. Just like a cloud passing through the sky. The problem begins when we grab every cloud and refuse to let it drift away. Imagine sitting beside a peaceful river. Leaves float gently on the surface. Each leaf represents a thought. One says, what if I fail? Another says, I'm not good enough. Another whispers, what if everything goes wrong? You have two choices. You can jump into the river, trying to catch every leaf, or you can stay on the riverbank, watching them pass. Most of us spend our lives swimming after thoughts. We chase them, argue with them, analyze them until we're emotionally exhausted. But peace isn't found by controlling every thought. Peace begins the moment you realize you don't have to follow every thought that enters your mind. Just because your mind tells a story doesn't mean you have to become its main character. Sometimes, the kindest thing you can do for yourself is simply watch the thought arrive, smile gently, and let it continue downstream. If our minds naturally create thousands of thoughts every single day, why do some of them become impossible to ignore? Why do certain worries return again and again and again? To answer that, we first need to understand one powerful habit of the human brain. It always believes that thinking more will make us safer. But is that really true? Let's find out. There is a question that quietly follows many of us throughout life. What if? What if I make the wrong decision? What if I fail? What if they reject me? What if something goes wrong? At first, these questions seem harmless, even responsible. After all, planning for the future is a good thing. Preparing for challenges is wise. Thinking before acting is valuable. But somewhere along the way, planning quietly transforms into overthinking. Preparation becomes obsession, and caution becomes fear. Without realizing it, we begin believing one dangerous idea. If I think about it long enough, I'll finally be in control. But is that really true? Imagine sitting in a rocking chair. You can move constantly, back and forth, for hours. It feels like you're doing something. Yet, when you stand up, you realize you haven't moved forward at all. Overthinking often feels exactly like that. Your mind stays busy. It analyzes every possibility. It replays every conversation. It imagines every future. But despite all that mental effort, nothing actually changes. You simply become exhausted. There is an interesting paradox about the human mind. The more uncertain life feels, the more we try to control it. We search for guarantees, perfect answers, absolute certainty. But life has never offered certainty. It only offers possibility. Think about the weather. No matter how carefully meteorologists study the sky, they cannot guarantee exactly when every drop of rain will fall. Pilots cannot control the wind. Farmers cannot control the seasons. Doctors cannot control every outcome. Parents cannot control every decision their children will make. No one, no matter how wise, can control everything. Yet we often expect ourselves to do exactly that. We believe we should know the perfect choice, the perfect career, the perfect relationship, the perfect future. And when we don't, our minds begin searching even harder. Imagine standing at a crossroads in a forest. Two paths stretch ahead. One leads left, the other leads right. You stand there for hours, trying to calculate which path is perfect. You imagine every possible outcome, every possible mistake, every possible regret. Meanwhile, someone else quietly chooses a direction and begins walking. Here's the surprising truth. Life often rewards movement more than perfection, because every step teaches you something. Standing still teaches very little. Many of us overthink because we believe there is one perfect life waiting to be discovered. But perhaps life isn't something you discover. Perhaps it's something you create, decision by decision, moment by moment. There's another illusion hidden inside overthinking. We believe worrying prepares us. We tell ourselves, if I worry now, I won't be surprised later. But notice what actually happens. The event hasn't happened, yet your body reacts as though it already has. Your shoulders tighten, your breathing becomes shallow, your heart beats faster, your sleep suffers, your energy fades. You've experienced the pain without the event ever taking place. That is the hidden cost of worry. It asks you to suffer twice, once in your imagination, and again if the problem actually arrives. And most of the time, it never does. One study after another has shown that a large percentage of the things people worry about never happen at all. Yet our minds keep creating new scenarios, not because they're true, because uncertainty feels uncomfortable. But uncertainty is not your enemy. It is simply part of being alive. Imagine reading a novel where you already know every chapter, every conversation, every ending. Would you still enjoy the story? Probably not. The mystery is part of what makes the journey meaningful. Life is no different. You don't need to know every answer today. You only need enough courage to take the next step, because clarity rarely comes before action. It usually arrives because of action. The path becomes clearer as you walk it. not while you stand still imagining every possible outcome. So perhaps the goal isn't to control life. Perhaps the goal is to trust yourself enough to live it. If overthinking is really an attempt to feel safe, then why does it leave us feeling so anxious? The answer lies in something surprisingly simple: the way we speak to ourselves. Because the loudest voice you'll ever hear is the one inside your own mind. Let's explore that together. There's someone you spend every single moment of your life with, from the day you were born until your very last breath. Someone who never leaves, never sleeps, never stops talking. That person is you, or perhaps, more accurately, the voice inside your mind. Have you ever noticed that no one speaks to you more than you do? Thousands of thoughts pass through your mind every single day. Some are kind, some are curious, some are hopeful, but many are quietly critical. You're not good enough. You should have done better. Everyone else has their life figured out. You're falling behind. The strange thing is, if someone else spoke to us this way every single day, we would probably walk away. Yet, when the voice comes from inside our own minds, we believe every word. Imagine watching a movie. The narrator begins describing the main character. They're going to fail. Nobody really likes them. They're not strong enough. They're too late. Now imagine something even stranger. The narrator has never read the ending of the movie. They're simply guessing. Would you trust that narrator? Probably not. Yet, that's exactly what our minds often do. They predict the future without evidence. They create stories without facts. They confuse imagination with reality. And somehow, we accept every sentence as truth. But here's something important to remember. Your mind is an excellent storyteller. It is not always an excellent historian. Memories change. Details fade. Emotions color the past. Fear exaggerates the future. Your brain isn't trying to lie to you. It's trying to protect you. But protection isn't always accuracy. Think about a cloudy day. The sun hasn't disappeared. It's simply hidden behind the clouds. Negative thoughts work the same way. Just because your mind says something doesn't mean it's true. Sometimes it's simply a passing cloud. One of the most powerful habits you can develop is learning to ask your thoughts one simple question. Is this actually true? Not, how do I feel about it? Not, what if it happens? Just, what evidence do I really have? For example, imagine you send someone a message. Hours pass. They don't reply. Immediately, your mind begins writing a story. Maybe they're upset with me. Maybe I said something wrong. Maybe they don't want to talk to me anymore. Hours later, they reply, sorry, I was in a meeting all day. Notice what happened? Reality was simple. Your story was complicated. How many hours of unnecessary suffering were created by a story that never happened? This is what overthinking often does. It doesn't show us reality. It shows us possibilities, usually the frightening ones. There is another habit our minds have. They love certainty, even negative certainty, because certainty feels safer than the unknown. Sometimes your mind would rather believe everything will go wrong than admit, I don't know what will happen, because uncertainty feels uncomfortable. But uncertainty is not dangerous. It is simply the space where life unfolds. Think back to some of the best moments in your life. Meeting someone special, a new opportunity, a memorable trip, a beautiful friendship. Did you predict every one of those moments? Probably not. Many of life's greatest gifts arrived unexpectedly. If your mind had been completely certain about the future, you might never have experienced them. That's why wisdom isn't about predicting life. It's about learning to trust yourself. No matter what life brings, the stories inside your mind will never completely disappear. They will continue to come. Some hopeful, some fearful, some inspiring, some discouraging. But you always have a choice. You can become the storyteller, or you can become the listener. The storyteller gets lost inside every thought. The listener simply notices. One becomes trapped, the other becomes free. Perhaps real peace begins the moment you stop believing every story your mind tells you. Because not every thought deserves your attention, and not every fear deserves your belief. Sometimes, the wisest response is simply to smile gently, take a slow breath, and let the story pass, like a cloud moving across a quiet sky. Transition. If our thoughts are only stories, then who is the one listening? Who is the quiet awareness behind every thought? And more importantly, how can we find that quiet place within ourselves? Let's discover that together, right now. I want you to stop for just a moment. Don't change anything. Don't try to clear your mind. Don't force yourself to relax. Just notice the next thought that appears. Maybe it's about today. Maybe it's about tomorrow. Maybe it's completely random. Now notice something even more interesting. You notice the thought, which means there's a part of you that exists beyond your thoughts. Think about that for a moment. If you can observe your thoughts, then you cannot be your thoughts. You are the one observing them. Imagine sitting on a park bench. People walk past you all day. Some smile. Some look tired. Some are in a hurry. Some stop for a moment before continuing. You don't chase every person who walks by. You simply notice them. Thoughts are very much the same. They come, they stay for a while. Then they leave. The problem begins when we stand up from the bench and start following every stranger who passes. One thought says, "What if tomorrow goes badly?" And immediately, we follow it. Another says, "Remember that embarrassing moment 5 years ago?" We follow that one too. Soon, we're miles away from the present moment, lost in places that exist only inside our minds. The present quietly disappears. There is a beautiful lesson hidden in nature. Stand beside a river. Watch the water flow. Notice how it never argues with the rocks. It simply moves around them, patiently, gracefully, without resistance. Our thoughts are like those rocks. You don't need to remove every one of them. You only need to learn how to keep flowing. Many people believe that a peaceful mind is an empty mind, but that isn't true. Even the wisest people still have anxious thoughts. They still experience doubt. They still worry. The difference is not the absence of thoughts. The difference is the relationship they have with them. They no longer believe every thought deserves attention. Imagine sitting in a cafe. People are talking all around you. Some conversations are interesting, others are not. Do you stop and listen to every single voice? Of course not. You naturally choose which conversation deserves your attention. Your mind deserves the same kindness. Not every thought deserves a seat at your table. Some thoughts are simply passing noise, and noise loses its power the moment you stop giving it your attention. There is a practice used in many mindfulness traditions. Whenever a thought appears, instead of saying, "I am anxious," you quietly say, "I notice anxiety." Instead of, "I'm a failure," you gently say, I'm noticing the thought that I'm a failure. It may sound like a small change, but it changes everything because it creates space between you and the story your mind is trying to tell. And in that space, freedom begins. Think about the sky on a stormy day. Dark clouds cover everything. Thunder echoes in the distance. For a while, it feels as though the storm will never end. But above every storm, the sky remains exactly the same. Calm, open, endless. Your awareness is like that sky. Thoughts are to weather. Some days are sunny, some days are cloudy, some days are filled with storms. But the sky itself never disappears. When you remember that, something remarkable happens. You stop fighting every cloud. You stop fearing every storm. You begin trusting that no matter what passes through your mind, it will pass. Because every thought has one thing in common. It is temporary. No thought lasts forever. No emotion stays unchanged. Everything moves. Everything flows. Just like the river, just like the wind, just like the seasons. Perhaps peace isn't something you create by controlling your mind. Perhaps peace has always been there, waiting quietly beneath the noise. Transition. Now that we've learned we are not our thoughts, a new question naturally appears. If we don't have to believe every thought, then how do we choose which ones deserve our energy? The answer begins with something simple: learning where to place your attention. Because your attention is one of the most valuable things you own, and wherever it goes, your life quietly follows. Imagine holding a flashlight. You're standing inside a dark room. Wherever you point the light, that part of the room becomes visible. The rest remains hidden in darkness. Your attention works exactly the same way. Whatever you focus on begins to grow. Focus on your fears, and they become louder. Focus on your mistakes, and they begin to define you. Focus on what you cannot control, and life starts feeling overwhelming. But something remarkable happens when you gently shift your attention, not because your problems disappear, but because your perspective changes. Think about a photographer. Two people can stand in exactly the same place, looking at exactly the same landscape. One chooses to photograph the storm clouds, the other captures the golden light breaking through them. Neither image is false. Both are real, but each tells a completely different story. Life often works the same way. There are always reasons to worry. There are always reasons to be grateful. The question is, which one are you training your mind to notice? Your brain learns through repetition. Every thought you repeat becomes a little easier to think again. Imagine walking across a field covered in fresh snow. The first step is difficult. The snow is untouched. But after walking the same path every day, a clear trail begins to appear. Soon, you don't even think about where you're walking. You automatically follow the path you've created. Your thoughts work in exactly the same way. Every time you tell yourself, "I'm not good enough," the path becomes deeper. Every time you believe something bad is about to happen, the trail becomes easier to follow. Eventually, your brain begins choosing that route automatically. Not because it's true, because it's familiar. The good news is, new paths can also be created. At first, they feel unnatural. When you tell yourself, maybe everything will be okay, your mind argues. When you choose hope over fear, it feels uncomfortable. Not because hope is wrong, because your brain hasn't walked that path very often. Growth always feels unfamiliar in the beginning. There is a beautiful saying, where attention goes, energy flows. Think about the people who always seem to notice beauty. A flower growing through the sidewalk, a child laughing, the warmth of sunlight on their face, a quiet cup of coffee in the morning. They are not living in a different world. They have simply trained their attention to notice different things. Now, imagine someone else. Every morning they wake up and immediately search for problems. Traffic, the weather, the news, mistakes, disappointments. Without realizing it, they teach their brain that the world is a dangerous place. Eventually, the brain becomes an expert at finding evidence to support that belief. Because your mind is always asking one silent question, what should I look for? If you tell it, find reasons to be afraid, it will find them. If you tell it, find reasons to be grateful, it will find those too. Your mind is like a search engine. The quality of the results depends greatly on the question you ask. Instead of asking, why does this always happen to me? Try asking, what can this experience teach me? Instead of, what if everything goes wrong? Ask, what if I handle whatever comes? Notice the difference. One question creates fear. The other creates confidence. Confidence is not believing that nothing difficult will ever happen. Confidence is believing that whatever happens, you will find a way through it. There's another truth about attention. Every moment you spend trapped inside yesterday is a moment you cannot fully experience today. Every minute spent worrying about tomorrow is a minute borrowed from the only day you actually have. Right now, this breath, this heartbeat, this quiet moment, this is life, not yesterday, not next week, now. Perhaps peace has never been hiding from you. Perhaps your attention has simply been looking in the wrong direction. And maybe the greatest freedom you'll ever discover is realizing that while you cannot always choose your circumstances, you can always choose where to gently place your attention. Even after learning all of this, your mind will still become busy sometimes. There will still be stressful days. There will still be moments when overthinking returns. The question isn't how to stop it forever. The question is, how do we gently come back to ourselves again and again without frustration? Let's explore that together. Take a slow breath. Not because breathing will magically solve every problem, but because every deep breath reminds your mind of one simple truth. You are here. Not yesterday, not tomorrow. Here. Have you ever noticed that overthinking almost never happens in a present moment? It happens in memories or in imagination. Your mind travels backward. I shouldn't have said that. Or it travels forward. What if this happens? Very rarely. Does it stay exactly where your feet are? That is why the present moment is so powerful, because it is the only place where life is actually happening. Imagine walking through a beautiful forest. The sunlight filters through the trees. Birds sing softly above you. A cool breeze touches your face. But instead of noticing any of it, you're looking down at your phone, reading yesterday's messages, thinking about tomorrow's schedule. The forest is still beautiful. You're simply not there to experience it. Many of us live our entire lives this way. Our bodies are present. Our minds are somewhere else, always arriving late to our own lives. The present moment is often much kinder than the stories inside our heads. Right now, as you listen to these words, ask yourself a simple question. Is there an actual problem in this exact second? Not next week, not tomorrow morning, not later tonight. Right now. Perhaps you're sitting comfortably. Perhaps you're breathing without effort. Perhaps the room around you is quiet. Perhaps, in this very moment, you are safe. Your mind may disagree. It may immediately produce another worry, another possibility, another unfinished story. That's okay. You don't need to argue with it. Simply notice it, smile gently, and come back to your breath, back to the feeling of your feet touching the ground, back to the sound around you, back to this moment, again and again. This is what mindfulness truly is. Not emptying your mind, not achieving perfect calm, simply returning. Every time you notice you've wandered away, imagine training a young puppy. Every time it runs in the wrong direction, you don't become angry, you don't shout, you don't punish it. You gently guide it back, again and again and again. Eventually, the puppy learns. Your attention works the same way. Every time your mind drifts into worry, you have an opportunity not to criticize yourself, but to gently guide your attention home. Some days it will wander 100 times. That's okay. Come back 100 times. Without judgment, without frustration, because every return is strengthening something inside you. Patience, awareness, peace. There's another beautiful truth. You don't have to solve your entire life today. You don't have to figure out the next 10 years. You don't even have to solve tomorrow. Most of the time, life asks only one thing. Take the next step. Drink the next sip of water. Finish the next page. Make the next phone call. Watch the next sunrise. One moment, one choice, one breath. When we try to carry an entire future, we collapse under its weight. But when we simply carry this moment, life becomes surprisingly manageable. Think about climbing a mountain. If you spend the entire climb staring only at the distant peak, you'll quickly become discouraged. But if you simply take one careful step, then another, eventually, without even realizing it, you arrive. Life has always moved this way, not in giant leaps, but in small, faithful steps. Perhaps peace is not waiting for you at the end of the journey. Perhaps it has been quietly walking beside you all along, hidden inside every mindful breath, every moment of gratitude, every gentle return to the present. And maybe that's enough. We've explored why we overthink. We've learned how thoughts become stories. We've discovered the quiet space behind the noise. We've practiced returning to the present. Now there is only one question left. What does a peaceful life actually look like? Let's bring everything together. Take one last deep breath with me, slowly, in and gently out. If you've stayed with me until this moment, I want you to know something. Your mind may never become completely silent, and that's okay. The goal was never to eliminate every thought. The goal was never to become someone who never worries. The goal has always been something much simpler: to stop allowing every thought to decide how you live. Imagine standing on top of a mountain. Clouds drift across the sky. Some are bright and white, others are dark with rain. But no matter how many clouds appear, the mountain remains steady, quiet, unshaken. Your mind is the sky. Your awareness is the mountain. Thoughts will come, emotions will change, life will continue to surprise you. But beneath all of it, there is a quieter place, a place that has always existed. You simply forgot how to return to it. For years, you may have believed peace was waiting somewhere else, after the perfect job, after the perfect relationship, after more money, after more success, after everything finally made sense. But what if peace has never lived in the future? What if It has always lived inside this moment. Think back to your childhood. Can you remember a simple afternoon when happiness required almost nothing? Watching clouds, riding a bicycle, listening to the rain, walking through a park, holding someone's hand. Life felt slower then. Not because the world was different, because your attention was different. Children don't constantly ask, "What if?" They simply experience what is happening. Somewhere along the way, many of us stopped living life and started analyzing it. We became experts at preparing, experts at predicting, experts at worrying, but beginners at simply being. Perhaps wisdom isn't adding more to your life. Perhaps wisdom is remembering what was always enough. There is an old story about a traveler who searched the world for a hidden treasure. He crossed deserts, climbed mountains, sailed across oceans. Years passed, finally, exhausted and disappointed. He returned home, only to discover the treasure had been buried beneath his own house all along. How often do we do the same, searching everywhere for a peace that quietly waits inside us, waiting for the moment we stop running, waiting for the moment we stop trying to become someone else, waiting for the moment we finally come home to ourselves. Life will still be unpredictable. Some days will still feel heavy. Some mornings, you'll wake up with worries. Some nights, your thoughts will once again become loud. That doesn't mean you failed. It means you're human. Peace isn't measured by how often your mind becomes busy. Peace is measured by how gently you return, again and again and again. Imagine sitting beside a fireplace on a cold winter evening. The fire doesn't rush. It doesn't compete with anyone. It simply burns quietly, one flame at a time. Your life doesn't have to be loud to be meaningful. You don't have to impress everyone. You don't have to chase every opportunity. You don't have to prove your worth every single day. Sometimes, the most meaningful life is the quiet one, the life where you sleep peacefully, where your laughter is genuine, where your heart is lighter than it was yesterday, where you protect your time, your energy, your peace. And perhaps that is the greatest success of all. Not becoming the busiest person in the room, not becoming the richest, not becoming the most admired, but becoming someone who can sit quietly, watching the rain fall outside a window, holding a warm cup of coffee, breathing slowly, and feeling completely at home. Because the world doesn't need another exhausted soul trying to keep up. It needs people who know how to slow down, people who choose kindness over noise, presence over pressure, peace over perfection. As this journey comes to an end, I want to leave you with one final invitation. Tomorrow morning, before you reach for your phone, before you think about work, before the world asks for your attention, open a window, take one deep breath, listen to the morning, notice the light, feel your heartbeat, and remind yourself, I don't have to solve my entire life today. I only have to fully live this moment, because this moment is where your life has always been. Not inside yesterday's regrets, not inside tomorrow's worries. Right here, right now, and maybe, just maybe, that is where peace has been waiting for you all along. Final closing. Thank you for spending this time with me. If these words helped quiet your mind, even for a few moments, then this journey was worth taking. Remember, your thoughts are visitors, not permanent residents. Let them come, let them go, and keep returning to yourself. Until next time, slow down, breathe deeply, protect your peace, and remember, A quiet mind doesn't come from controlling every thought. It comes from learning that you don't have to follow every one of them. This is English with peace. I'll see you in the next journey. Take care and be kind to yourself.